We're going to finish that later. So the fun part about this podcast is that I just kind of get to do whatever it is that I want, which includes never playing the same thing twice at the beginning of the show. I want to talk about, it's just me, and me equals Jeff. I'm Jeff. For those that don't know, thank you for listening to OTB for the first time. Welcome. So I want to talk about local racing. Surprise, surprise. That's kind of what I do. I like to ramble about motocross. And buckle up, boys and girls. We're going for a ride. All right. So obviously, I went racing this weekend at Oklahoma Motorsports Complex in Norman, Oklahoma, obviously, as you can tell by the name. And there were 400 some odd entries overall for a local Saturday night race. And typically Saturday night races are not known to have gigantic turnouts. Then there were 17 riders in the pro class. That's huge. Okay, 17 guys in the pro class is a lot, but then 17 at a Saturday night race? Whoa, dude, that's so many. I mean, I think that's more entries than some of the, even the Kicker Arena Cross Series had at some of them. I know they had some low entries at a few of their races. So, listen, dude, it's popping. Like, motocross is popping. Welcome back. We're in 2020. We're post-coronavirus, and it's time to make it happen. So, I'm going to call on you, rider, mom, dad, whatever. If you're going somewhere, tell me where it is. And this is nationwide. I want to know where the motocross races are at. Whether we're talking New Jersey to California, Washington State to Florida. Tag me, whether that's Rip and Ruts, OTB, Kimmick Coffee, Muff Mufflers, doesn't matter. Reach out to me and tell me where you're going racing because I'm curious. I want to know where the races are at. Because if there are going to be more races all around the country, like it kind of seems like, wow, is this just what it's going to be like now? Because we've condensed the season down to essentially May, June, July, August, September. I mean, really, that's normal motocross local racing kind of dies off after September. I mean, because by that time, in the amateur world, Loretta's has already happened. It's now the off season. The kids go home from the training facilities. The new school year starts for all the mini bike riders. It just kind of wraps up, but instead of it being, typical motocross races in Kansas and Missouri, where I spend most of my time riding, is March. I mean, it's kind of now where all the races, we start in March. And part of the reason for that is because the weather is so hit or miss in March, April, even into the mid stages of May. We might have 85 degrees one day and then snow the next. Kansas City is right on that border between the north and the south. Literally, if you know anything about the Mason-Dixon line, Kansas City, right in the middle of it. So not only is that historically, but it's also a matter of fact for weather, ecologically. So we can be in either direction any given week. With that being said, a lot of the races, the promoters will start scheduling in March. They'll have races scheduled for the first, second week of March because they might be able to get one in. As the thing, it's kind of a shoot from the hip and, hey, maybe we'll hit something. And because it happens, it's not hard to have a 60-degree weekend in March, and it's worth going for. But then you may have a season where, you get into these 7-day rain cycles where it's like every Friday it rains 2 inches, which last year and the year before both, poor Bill Graham at Midwest Extreme Park, I think he had like 4 rainouts in a row. He couldn't catch a break. So we're going racing, and we're going to go race a lot, and we're going to race often. And I think that there's never been a better time to vote with your dollar as for, what tracks you want to support, but also at the same time, get outside of your local market. If, like in Kansas City, I know there are a lot of weekend warriors that practically only race at 1, maybe 2 tracks throughout the year. And hey, try another place. Don't be scared. Go taste some competition from another place. Shoot up to Riverside in Iowa. Maybe even go to Millville. I've literally been just on Facebook. Okay, so it's so easy to find new tracks, and it's so contrasting to the way that it was for a while, because back in the day you had Cycle News, and the in the back of Cycle News there were, okay, let's say I own a track, I would submit my schedule to Cycle News, and then they would for free post where the races were going to be, essentially by every AMA district or state. So for instance, the District 18 was practically what oversaw all of Missouri, even though Merwin was in District 18 for, 2 years, maybe 3. And everybody would kind of congregate to where the races were posted inside of Cycle News. Well, now there's so many options of places to go and ride, and so many, not just ride, but race also. But we saw last weekend what happens whenever there was only one option of where to race. OMC had over 400 entries at a night race. They drew entries all the way from California and New Jersey, okay? That's how hardcore motocross races are, is that people are willing to drive 24, 28, 30 hours to race a dirt bike. The pro class alone had Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, Oklahoma, and Texas represented. So more than a handful of states just in the pro class alone. Typically, at OMC, you'll get 4 guys from around the Oklahoma City area that are like your local A riders. Same thing happens at Kingsville. You'll have 4, maybe 5 guys that sign up for the A class that are your local A weekend guys. Now, if we could have some type of system, if we could have some type of system where the majority of people went and rode at the same exact facility. So for instance, like this, the Justin Brayton shootout coming up at Riverside Raceway, and not this week, but next. What is that? The 14th, 15th, and 16th? Let me pull that up so I make sure that I have it exactly, because I really don't want to get that date wrong, because I'm super excited about going to this race. All right. May 15, 16, and 17. Justin Brayton shootout, Winterset, Iowa. The racetrack is Riverside Raceway, owned and operated by Tony Wink. Tony's been on the show before, and we've talked some pretty hardcore moto. So I'm going. My buddy Brent Rouse from California is coming. Vince Monteleone, Lap King from Texas. He's coming. All right. So right there, between those two, you've got 24, 12, 36 hours of travel time just to come to this race. I also have heard that Brayton himself is renting a motorhome and towing a trailer, and that he's going to bring Marshall Welton and Kyle Peters with him. All right. So, and Justin's going to race, he races too. So we're talking about 3 world-class guys coming from the East Coast, even though I'm saying Justin is coming from the East Coast because that's where he lives, even though he's from Fort Dodge. That's why this race is the Justin Brayton Shootout. He helps promote Iowa motocross because he's a big fan of it. So, dude, I'm expecting a full gate of pro riders both Saturday and Sunday. Tony, the promoter, always throws in some extra cash. Saturday, 200%. That's damn good money for a local race. It's just the Iowa Moto Series. And then Sunday is the Justin Brayton Shootout, which is, or perhaps all weekend is. I don't know. I think it's just the all-encompassing. Saturday is also Saturday is Iowa Moto Series. Sunday is Best of the Midwest, which also incorporates tracks in Nebraska, Iowa, and Missouri. Best of the Midwest guaranteed payout is 200% plus $500 in each class. I'm guessing that there will be 15, maybe 20 professionally licensed riders that are going to be here. Now listen, this is not a factory-backed event. I don't think that there's any contingency available. Yet people are going to drive, dude. There might even be people from Canada, Minnesota, South Dakota, maybe even North Dakota, Nebraska, Wisconsin, Illinois, Missouri, Arkansas, Texas, California, Colorado, Kansas. This is a big event just because Iowa's gathering restrictions have been lifted. And so now everybody's kind of chasing where the stay-at-home orders are being lifted. Last weekend at OMC, the day of the race was the day the order was lifted. I'll say right now, I don't necessarily dig night races. It's really difficult for my eyes. I wear some pretty strong prescription glasses. And I knew going into it that I was going, yes, I'm going to ride the best of my capabilities that are predicated on my ability to see at night. Does that mean that I'm going to be able to be competitive with Harlan and Marquier and Dustin Winter? No. Maybe on a really good day at bar to bar, I could maybe, hold some weight against those guys. B2B is my track. That's probably the track that I go the fastest at. So going into it, I knew that it was going to be an uphill battle, not just on the track, but with my eyes at night. But I still went because I absolutely love racing. And this was the first opportunity for me to do so since the Riverfront GP last year. So we're talking December, January, February, March, April, 5 months since I have raced a dirt bike. That's insane. Also, now that I've left FedEx and I've gone out into business for myself, I'm more fluid and available to go, to jet off to these races that are going to be held, regionally. But dude, going into the Oklahoma race, I wanted to go. I wanted to participate. I wanted to be part of the action. I knew it was going to be a really good time. And I mean, yeah, dude, Saturday night motocross. Who doesn't love that? At a cool track with, I knew there would be healthy entries, get to hang out with some old friends like Greg Albertson and Todd Webb and see Marshall Plum and Shannon Naide. And see some of my new customers that have recently picked up, some Rip and Ruts kits. That was great to see. Lucas Nash just picked up two sets of stickers, and his bikes looked awesome. That was so fun to see his bike sitting in the pits looking all factory. Thanks to me. But yeah, even though I knew it was going to be an uphill battle, I still went, and I had a blast. And I camped in my van, and I had Whataburger at 3:00 at night. I mean, the races ran long, and even with 2-lap first motos and 6-lap mains, that was a really cool format that I think all night racing should take after. Listen, we're racing at night. It's time to throw the baby out with the bathwater in this instance, because motocross is during the day, supercross is at night. That's just how it works. Let's adopt the supercross format for all night racing. I think that'd be a blast. It'd be a healthy change for all night races across the country. Might as well do it. Run short motos for gate pick, and then go into the main, and then have the kit and the caboodle, the whole enchilada, the Holy Toledo, all the marbles in one main. There's no reason not to do it that way. And then also, here's a mind blower to think about. If we want to drum up pro entries, and this is because there's a lot of guys that are A speed and A skill that only have one bike, and typically the one bike that they have is a 450. Many of those guys are not eligible age-wise to race in a vet class. So they are excluded to riding one single class. And let's be honest, going to the motocross track and racing one single class, I mean, there's a reason there's so many classes: Big Bike Open, College Boy, and then the plus classes, etc. There's a reason they offer those classes, and it's to give everybody a second chance to ride another bike. With that being said, is it time that we take a step back and think about the class structuring and just ease back on the CC restrictions, and instead just have B1, B2, C1, C2, A1, A2, and they just both be, open classes, and one is for whatever, and then the other is for something else, track credit in one class or something like that. Hell, I don't know. Make there be some type of incentive for people to ride two classes, because and like, listen, how many guys, okay, let's think about it this way. There are not many guys that are going to go out there and beat me simply because they are on a 450. They're going to beat me, and when I say me, I mean the psyche of a motocross racer. They're going to beat me because they're more skilled than I am, not because they have more CCs. Because there have been times whenever on a 125, I've been to last year whenever I went to the Spring Valley MX Park in Abilene, Texas for the 125 shootout, I also raced Open A. And there were 4 other guys on 450s and one dude on a 250F. And I still won that class because I was the one that was entered. I was the fastest guy that day. Had nothing to do with the bike size. It's just I was the fastest guy that day. I was the one who won. Jesse Flock a couple years ago came to the bar-to-bar Loretta qualifier and won the pro sport class on a 125 two-stroke. Point being, yes, it's hard to do that. But maybe instead of shooing away guys, I mean, the biggest complaint, the very absolute biggest complaint in motocross is how much time you spend at the track and how little time you get to ride or race. So would it be worth it? Would it be worth it to change the class structure and offer more riding time somehow. But also understand that with that, it's a double-edged sword. If there are less classes, then there needs to be a higher entry fee. Because, listen, to run a race, it costs X amount. And however the fuck it is that the promoters get to beating that, the cost of the race and start to make money, they're going to figure it out. And one of the ways that they did that is by offering 32 different classes and then running 23 motos with, double gates in practically every moto. And a lot of the entries are 6 here, 7 in that class, not even double digit riders. So what if every skill class, there were 2 skill classes and they were just 2 open classes? Why not? Why not? I mean, really, at a local level, listen, nobody's getting signed to the Monster Army. Nobody has Barks Motorsports Suzuki team ringing their phone. Nobody is signing a paid contract deal with Motion Pro Tools because of their performances at the local motocross track. So what does it matter what class you're racing CC-wise? Because it doesn't really. I mean, if you're good, you're going to do good. If a guy beats you just because he's on a 450, that's an anomaly. Like, I mean, there are times, there are times that guys on a 450s are going to beat you just because they got a better start, perhaps. But listen, that, there's a shelf life on that kind of action. One thing that I did notice at OMC on Saturday night, so it's a dirt starting pad, and then where the gate falls is concrete, and then there's about 1.5 feet of concrete on the track side of the starting gate. And never has it been more apparent than whenever myself, Zach Duran, and Michael Hicks are on 252 strokes, and we're getting average to bad starts. And I have some GoPro footage of, I got a fantastic jump. Like, I dumped the clutch at the perfect time and still getting out of the gate. Dude, as soon as the rear wheel touched the concrete, the 450s just right away because they have traction control. Okay, the CDI literally tells the bike, stay wide open, but I'm going to limit the number of flashes that the spark plug is going to do. for a split second, 0.2. And that 0.2 of where the wheel is making traction or controlled traction, and it's putting power to the ground, that is so huge compared to my bike, which is just going whoa, right across the top of the concrete. Like, it's just spinning. It's not doing anything. And it is aggravating, dude. But at the same time, 2 strokes are goddamn sweet. I will say, okay, so like the last couple of days I've been thinking, that's it. If I want to be competitive, and listen, I'm riding really well right now. Saturday night did not show for the way that I'm riding at all. But I feel so good on the bike. And I'm thinking, dude, do I just need to sack up and get a 4-stroke? Do I need to get a 350 or a 450 and, just bite the bullet, ride the 250 in the 250F class, which is, I was just saying, well, we should just have open classes. But I'm just talking about the way that it is now. Should there be a change? I mean, hey, listen, I'm not the decider of those kind of things. I'm just saying maybe it would be smart. But for the given system right now, I'm trying to game it, thinking, okay, what would be best? Ride the 250 in the 250F class, which I will also say, dude, 250Fs with their traction control. I mean, you have a short start. It's going to be a big task to get a whole shot on a 252 stroke on a short start. Because really you need to hit, top of range in third gear whenever that bike keeps chugging a little bit longer than a 250F does. That's where the 252 stroke shines, power wise, because it really, I mean, you get to the top of third gear and then click up into fourth, and there's no comparison whatsoever between a 250F and a 252 stroke. So yeah, it's like, do I want to be super racy this year? Should I get a 4-stroke? Should I, pop over to CycleZone and pick up a new 350 or 450? It's been on my mind lately. And especially this week after watching my GoPro video of the 450s just squirt out of the starting line. It's like, fuck, dude. Oh, that makes me mad. But then again, also let me add in, I wasn't super motivated to race, and it was because I knew how bad my eyes would be. And I don't know if that sounds like just a really simple cop-out or if it's a believable truth. I can tell you right now, if you look through my glasses, you'll probably get a headache instantly. So yeah, do I want a 4-stroke? I don't know. It's been on my mind. Maybe. We'll see. But beyond that, okay, so moving into more discussion of the Justin Brayton shootout. Dude, it's going to be so stacked. All right. And also super excited to finally have some gimmick coffee brewed live at an event. So Friday morning and Saturday morning, for sure, I plan to serve hot coffee. I'll try to do it on Sunday morning also. It really depends on, because this will be the first event that I'm going to be brewing coffee. So I got to figure out, how do I go about doing it, really? I mean, listen, I know how to brew the coffee and I know how to serve it. It's just how much is the question. That's really the question. I'm going to be pitted up with Brent, who will be there with the full Bolt motorcycle hardware display. And then Vince is coming up with the Lap King, and he's going to be on display. And we're going to have ourselves a little factory pit. And I'm excited to be part of that. It's fun. It's a lot of fun to get in and, put up all the canopies and the banners and, have this professional pit presence and, pretend like I'm somebody somewhere in Iowa. I'll be a somebody in Iowa. Iowa has some serious talent, though. Guys like Wade Brommel. That guy goes so fast, and I don't know, man. Wade's on another level, and he's been getting really fast, consistently. I haven't seen him ride in a little while. The last time I saw him was at Best of the Midwest in the middle of summer last year at Kingsville, and I was still on the 150 then. Obviously, I had nothing for him. I did get one good really start at that race, but that was about the key point of that race. And then after that is Mega Camp. Yeah, at Bar to Bar. So Scott's got the Innovative MX Mega Camp, which this will be the 3rd annual. And we have absolutely added a 4th coach. So it will be Scott, the ringleader, and then you have Brad DePringer, who is a full-time motocross coach and track builder. So he's very well versed in. I mean, listen, I don't know if Brad's ever scored points or not, but I know that he has that he's made it into a handful of fast 40s at the Outdoor Nationals. And then you have myself, and then Brent Rouse. He's going to join us as the fourth coach at the Mega Camp. And as of, I think the cap is at 60 riders. We wanted to raise the cap a little bit because we added a fourth coach, and keep it to where everybody is getting a personalized experience and everybody's getting, the coaching that they're paying for. Unlike some of the other large camps, large coach trade shows, so to speak, some of those, I've never really heard a lot of good stuff about what goes on there. Is that it's more or less like a farming system to get more customers for the motocross coaches. And also, they're not getting paid either. They have to do that on their own dime. So you kind of get what you pay for with that. I mean, if, that's not the case at Mega Camp, because Scott pays Brad, myself, and Brent very handsomely, and we deliver off of a good salary and try to ensure that everybody gets 110% of their money's worth. And also there's we have some extracurricular activities, fun stuff. Oh, also Vince is coming up for that also, so we're gonna have a Lap King lap jam, which, if I remember correctly, the plan is to get some lap times at the beginning of the weekend on Friday, and then at the end of the weekend on Sunday, to show, hey, look, this Mega Camp, it works. Like, we're going to go out and we're going to drill technique, and then we're going to do sections. We're going to have some fun. We're going to play some games. We're going to ride a lot of laps and burn through a lot of fuel. And every rider that comes there will leave a better, faster, smarter, safer rider. Scott's put together a really, frankly, innovative program that the Mega Camp offers, and it's a lot of fun too. Even for me as a coach, it's more than just standing out there, telling people and riders what to do. It's beyond that. It's getting to massage the talent out of riders that they may not necessarily know that they had in them. And, it's good. It's very satisfying to be able to relay my knowledge to somebody and to see them be able to improve right there on the spot. So if you're interested in that, go to innovativemx.com and you can sign up online for the Mega Camp. It's a very reasonable price. And, Scott he's developed a white glove service for all attendees. And I will also be brewing Gimmick Coffee, complimentary coffee. If you come to the Mega Camp on sign up day on Friday, there will be free coffee for anybody that wants it at sign up. And I'm super, I'm excited to give away some free coffee because the coffee's great. And I mean, it's hard to beat a delicious free cup of Joe. So there's that. That's the next 2 weekends, and beyond that, after that, I may take a week off. This weekend, right now, I'm taking this weekend off. Also, in the Pro Stimulus Main at the OMC Hot Summer Nights race. On lap 7, we did a 10-lap moto. On lap 7, I stabbed my right foot in a pretty high-speed right-hander bowl. Coming into it, there's this really cool section where you step up into the bowl, and I was doing a lot of the outsides around the course because, number one, it's fun, and number two, on a two-stroke, dude, most of the times, it's just easier to rail the outsides than it is to go to the insides and torque through the ruts. So I'm on the outsides ripping it like Cole Trickle with specially matched tires in the City Chevy. And coming into the corner, wash the front end just a C hair, and like went off of my balance and just stabbed my foot in and just, didn't twist my ankle. I just kind of rolled it outwards a little bit. So the exterior side of my right ankle, just behind the ball, it's a little sensitive, and I'm pretty serious about doing well at the Justin Brayton shootout. So I'm laying low off the bike to ensure that my ankle is good and healthy and ready to rip. Come Friday, we're gonna ride practice, and then Saturday is gate drop time. But beyond that, it's kind of an open book. Who knows what the Pro Motocross Series is going to do? Who knows? It's kind of sounds like Supercross is going to be in the fall, and then practically non-existent off season, and then 2021 will be right there, January. For Anaheim 1. What an odd year it's shaping up to be, but also what an exciting opportunity for every track to be able to host a big race. I mean, it's the ball is in your court, promoters. Figure out which one you want to be the big one, and stake your claim in the series or in the season, because hopefully, I want everyone to be successful, and I want everyone to have a big race. And honestly, I want to go where everybody else is going. I want to go where the big entries are, because without mincing words, the more entries there are in the pro class, the more money is being paid out, especially, if it's beyond 100%. And I love racing for money. It's so much fun to race for money. I actually put up $50 into the stimulus shootout purse on behalf of Gimmick. Listen, I didn't ride that great. I got an 8th and a 7th. And so I was in the top 10. I was happy with that, top half in both classes. But I didn't go into that race expecting to make a bunch of money. And as a fan of local racing and a fan of the Saturday night racing, and just the idea of having a bunch of pro riders get together and race their hearts out for some cold hard cash, I wanted to contribute to it. So Grant Harlan and Dustin Winter and Chase Marquier split up $50 of mine. And but it was cool because I got to vend coffee. I made or I collected $15 for my 7th place finish in the pro class, and then sold $120 worth of merchandise between Gimmick and Muff. And so, it was a break even weekend for me, which at a night race, I'm happy to break even. That's a good night for me. Day race, I'd be a little bit upset with that. I'd probably be might be on the freeway right now, headed to Cycle Zone to pick up a 450, if it was that bad. Well, that's about it. I just wanted to check in with you guys, an update, and tell you where I'm going to be. So hopefully we see everybody at Winterset at Riverside Raceway. Also, Bar to Bar had their regional has been moved. They're super regional now, which is the amateur. So big bike skill classes are going to be at Bar to Bar over July 4th weekend. Anybody can come. You don't have to qualify for the regional now. To my understanding, it's going to be a knockout style. Qualify. I think I said that right. So the knockout style is pretty simple. Let's say you have 100 entries, and we're only taking 40 riders into the final main or the final moto. So moto number 1, you'll have 3 groups of 30 riders, or 33, 34, whatever it is. And then you'll narrow that down and take the top 80. So 20 riders will get cut and then go into the second moto. And then you'll have two 40-man gates. And then you'll go into the final moto with one 40-man gate. So let's take the top 20 of each 40-man in the second moto and then in the final. Now, whether each score is going to count, so whether that's a, like it's a 1-1-1, for 3 points to win, or if all the marbles are on the last moto, I'm not sure. I don't know exactly how that's going to work. Well, as soon as I find out, I'll jump on here and let you guys know how that's going to go. Maybe get Bruce on the phone and get him to explain how the system's going to work. Again, that's hearsay. I'm not 100% sure that's how it's going to be. I know that all the super regionals are both amateur and youth are scheduled to be 4-day events, practice on Friday, racing on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I know that's a big ask, to be gone for 4 days, but racing dirt bikes. But listen, these are the cards we got dealt. It's, we got to put some money in and hopefully the dealer flips over something we like. Now, also, I would not expect a 4-day event for the vet regionals because I think that there's 10 classes or so for the vets. So plus 25, plus 30, plus, I don't know if there's a 35 or not, but I'm going to count it anyway. Plus 40, plus 50, plus 60. So 6, let's just add 2 just in case I'm missing like a 45 or something like that. All right, so we're setting at maybe 8 classes for the vet regional, which has yet to be disclosed where it will be in North Central. I want to go. I would love to ride 25 and 30. I think that would be really fun. Any race that has 3 moto format, shit, you'll find me there. I love 3 moto format racing. Big classes, more time on the track, 3 moto formats. I think that's a lot of fun. So again, it's kind of just shooting from the hip on that. What I was trying to say is the vet races, because there's only 6 to 8 classes, listen, there's some regionals where there aren't even 15 vet riders in, like plus 40 or so. There might only be 15, 20 guys or, the plus 60 class, whatever it is. So I don't think it'll be a 4-day event. I think that will be a 3-day event, practice on Friday, racing on Saturday and Sunday. Plus 25, plus 30, and plus 40 are not even plus 25, honestly. 30 and 40 are probably the only 2 that stand a chance of needing qualifiers. But even then, who knows? Will there be 40 guys in each region that attempt, because that's a lot. Because at most regionals, see, that's the thing. It's like at most regionals, there aren't even 40 guys in the plus 30 class. So we'll find out. We'll see what's going to happen. That's all up in the air. And man, as much of a question mark as it is, it's also equally exciting that these are, how do I say it? There's just a really big opportunity for things to be different this year and for us to make lemonade out of it also. Because, dude, if we're not going pro racing until July 4th weekend, and, obviously Redbud usually is over that, but things you got to keep into consideration is usually stay-at-home orders or large gathering orders are being mandated on a state-by-state basis. And because Detroit is such a densely populated area with lots of low-income residents, those are people that are also have the least amount of access to healthcare. So if there is not, a good, how do I say it? If the numbers are not going down consistently, then it's likely they may not may not be able to have the race at Redbud on 4th of July weekend. But then the question stands, there are no motocross tracks that are not in densely populated states. I mean, they're all, Washington is the only one that's, not that, I don't know. We're going to find out. I think this will be the year of by the seat of our pants. Or is it by the seam of our pants? Is it by the seat or by the seam? I'm not sure. I don't know. Food for thought. You should look that up. I bet you're questioning yourself. Well, shit, is it by the seam of my pants? Or is it by the seat of my pants? Anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks to our sponsors, Innovative MX, Bar to Bar Motocross, Fox, Lap King, Missouri Vintage Motocross Series, the Kansas Motocross Championship Series. Sorry, I'm listening to people talk in the background. I'm going to pull this up so I don't screw it up. Of course, also Keaton Fonholtz Real Estate. That's you can follow him on Instagram, k.f.realestate. I highly suggest that. Keaton posts a lot of really fun stuff and goes to a lot of really cool houses around the Kansas City metropolitan area. And he also just switched from Keller Williams Key Partners to another firm. And I think that's just a better deal for everybody. So, Donnell's Motorcycles in Independence, Missouri, Suzuki, Honda, CF Moto. They have a large offering of many things to buy. Husqvarna Motorcycles also. And UFO, if you're in the market to pick up some plastic, let me know directly. Reach out to me because I do have the ability to get you a good deal on some UFO plastic through Rip and Ruts. Obviously, Rip and Ruts, Boom Customs, which Mike has recently been acquired by another company. I can't remember the name of it, but just check him out at Boom RC, and then Innovative. I think I said that, and Gimmick, the official coffee of hard work. So, thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, I forgot that I started a song at the beginning. So this band is called I Am. That's literally I Am. They're from Texas. They're a hardcore band that I've listened to for a couple years that I really dig. So I'm gonna play it out with us. So let's take it away with this song called "Sacred Cries" by I Am. A real juke jumping joint that everybody in the family can enjoy.